Target's downfall has become increasingly evident as the retail giant reports a concerning 2.8% drop in sales to $23.85 billion in the first quarter. Despite a 4.7% increase in online sales, comparable store sales plummeted by 3.8%, with in-store sales specifically declining by 5.7%. This downward trend has severely impacted the company's market position, as Target's shares have fallen more than 37% over the past 52 weeks. The retail chain's struggles extend beyond financial metrics to include customer behavior. In fact, average daily visits to Target stores fell more than 4% by the end of February, compared to the same period in 2024. Additionally, foot traffic declined by 9% year-over-year in February, with a notable 9.5% drop during the economic blackout on February 28th. So in this video, we will explore the key factors that led to Target's decline. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariff policies have created unprecedented pricing challenges for Target, with the retailer now facing 30% levies on Chinese imports and a 10% baseline tariff on goods from most other countries. This economic pressure comes at a critical time when the company is already struggling with declining sales and consumer confidence. Target's vulnerability to tariffs stems from its merchandise mix. Roughly half of what Target sells comes from outside the United States. Currently, 30% of Target's store label goods come from China, though the company aims to reduce this to less than 25% by year-end. This represents significant progress from 60% in 2017. However, the current tariff levels still pose substantial challenges. CEO Brian Cornell warned shareholders of massive potential costs due to tariffs, noting that the difficulty level has been incredibly high given the rates we're facing and the uncertainty about how these rates in different categories might evolve. Unlike some competitors, Target has publicly declared price increases as a very last resort. Instead, the company is pursuing multiple strategies to offset tariff costs, like negotiating with suppliers to share the burden, expanding the sourcing to Asian countries beyond China, re-evaluating product assortment and selection, and adjusting the timing and quantity of orders. Cornell indicated that pricing decisions will largely depend on ongoing efforts to source more products domestically. For specific items like $5 t-shirts, Target plans to maintain pricing, but may increase costs on other clothing items where there's more flexibility. Walmart, in contrast, has been more direct about passing tariff costs to shoppers. The retail giant announced price increases would begin appearing in late May and much more in June. This prompted President Trump to demand on social media that Walmart eat the tariffs. Home Depot took a middle position, stating it would generally maintain current pricing levels, since most of its products come from the United States. Likewise, other retailers like Nike announced selective price increases of $2 to $10 on certain items. The divergent strategies highlight how tariffs are widening the gap between market leaders, with Walmart's stock nearly doubling since 2022, while Target's has halved during the same period. On January 24th, Target announced the end of several key diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs. The company terminated its 3-year DEI goals, ceased reporting to external diversity-focused groups like the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index, and discontinued its program supporting Black-owned businesses. Notably, this rollback came shortly after President Trump issued executive orders ending government DEI programs. The DEI reversal sparked immediate polarized reactions. For conservative groups who had previously criticized Target's 2023 Pride Month merchandise, the move seemed like a capitulation to their pressure. Conversely, progressive organizations viewed the decision as betrayal. Anne and Lucy Dayton, daughters of Target's co-founder, publicly criticized the company. calling it a betrayal of its founding values. Civil rights activists, led by Reverend Jamal Bryant, mobilized more than 150,000 participants in opposition to Target's decision. The fallout was swift and measurable. Following the announcement, Target experienced 8 consecutive weeks of declining foot traffic. On the National Blackout Day, store traffic fell 11% compared to average Friday visits. Overall foot traffic dropped 5.7% year-over-year in early 2025. Primarily, Black and Hispanic households reduced their visits at the highest rates. In contrast, Costco, which maintained its DEI initiatives, saw increased visits during the same period. Beyond consumer backlash, Target faced legal challenges. The City of Riviera Beach Police Pension Fund filed a class action lawsuit alleging Target deceived shareholders about DEI-related risks. Florida Attorney General James Uthmire brought another lawsuit claiming Target failed to disclose the financial risks of its DEI initiatives to investors. These legal actions asserted that Target's board only assessed risks of not implementing DEI policies, while ignoring potential negative consequences. The battle for retail dominance has intensified as Target's market position weakens against stronger competitors. At the core of Target's downfall lies a stark reality. The company is losing ground to more agile rivals across most merchandise categories. Target's comparable sales declined 3.8% in Q1 2025, whereas both Walmart and Amazon reported impressive growth. Walmart's same-store sales rose 5.3%, alongside e-commerce growth of 22%. Similarly, Amazon's US retail revenue grew 11%, outpacing the industry average. This widening performance gap has resulted in Target losing market share to both competitors. Between 2021 and 2024, Target surrendered 0.18% of market share. Concurrently, as Walmart gained 0.75%, Costco added 0.15%, and Amazon increased by 0.07%. Target's internal metrics reveal equally troubling patterns across merchandise lines. The retailer held or gained market share in only 15 of the 35 merchandise categories it tracks, effectively losing ground in 20 categories. CEO Brian Cornell acknowledged this underperformance, stating, "We're not happy with that. We've got to be growing market share in 60, 70, 80% of those categories." Moreover, food and beverage was the sole category showing any growth plus 0.8%, with all other departments recording declines. In response to these challenges, Target has unveiled a multi-year Enterprise Acceleration Office intended to drive greater speed and agility across the organization. Chief Operating Officer Michael Fidelka will lead this initiative, focusing on simplifying operations and accelerating growth. Coupled with this new office, Target announced major leadership changes, including the departure of Chief Strategy and Growth Officer Christina Hennington, who was widely considered a potential successor to CEO Brian Cornell. Chief Legal and Compliance Officer Amy Tu has also left the company, underscoring the magnitude of the reorganization taking place. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Hit the subscribe button and like this video for more such content.